having doctrinal disagreements, I think, is normal. But during a doctrinal disagreement, when you receive uninformed responses, I think that's something altogether different. Had a discussion with a once saved, always saved believer, and I asked him 3 questions, and the answers that he gave me to the questions, I think is kind of mind-boggling, but I'll read them rather than to sit here and talk about them. I asked him 3 questions. 1, why do you obey Christ? 2, do you believe by obeying Christ is in some form trying to earn something from him? And 3, are you comfortable with violating Christ? Now, his response to number 1, why do you obey Christ, was, it doesn't matter in regards to salvation. This is because no matter what responses there are to obey Christ, the Bible is clear in Galatians 3:11 that no man is justified by the law in the sight of God. That's his quote. I guess Christ is somehow now Old Testament law that doesn't have to be obeyed. If that's his understanding as to why he shouldn't obey Christ, I don't know. But my question was, why do you obey Christ? And that was his answer. To number 2, do you believe by obeying Christ it is in some form trying to earn something from him? His answer, yes, it is. And no argument can prove otherwise. Obeying God to be saved would be earning a spot in heaven by good behavior. Mind you, my question was only, do you believe by obeying him, obeying Christ, is in some form trying to earn something from Christ? So I guess he understands the motivation behind obeying Christ is really trying to earn something from Christ. Never mind a relationship. Never mind, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? But he really believes that obeying Christ is in some form trying to earn something from Christ. And so he points me to Romans 3:19 through 28. Again, I guess he understands Christ as being Old Testament law that no longer have to be obeyed. Okay. 3rd, are you comfortable with are you comfortable with violating Christ? And his response to that question was, again, has nothing to do with salvation. Whether or not a person does or not has nothing to do with salvation. The question was, are you comfortable with violating Christ? You see, some people really have a bad understanding about what relationship is. And they really believe that they could be in a relationship with someone who is expecting something from them that they have no intention on giving. I wonder how a marriage would work in that regard. A woman accepts a marriage proposal. She lives with an expectation that her husband will first honor the vow he made, that he would love her and protect her and care for her and be with her. And yet he develops an attitude right after they say I do, that nothing he's supposed to do matters. Now, quite naturally, someone will say, well, you're going too far. We're talking about Christ versus human relationships. But isn't marriage that mystery of Christ and the church? Isn't a husband supposed to love his wife as Christ loves the church? You see, all of these things about relationship, but yet a person don't feel that they have to obey instructions. It's a dangerous doctrine. And this is what makes the once saved, always saved doctrine dangerous. Not in and of itself, but for those who would hear it. I think that message clearly falls among thorns and upon stony places, because many of the people who jumped on this once saved, always saved doctrine, the things that they say in response to questions really show that they do not understand what they claim to believe. That's dangerous. It's very dangerous.